We are live in the
We
garden again. So hello
are
everybody.
live.
Actually, it's a bit high, isn't it? You can just see our. I suppose it's okay.
Well, I can do this.
There we are.
Is that better?
There you go. Get to
Yeah.
see us in our full glory. So I'm led out and stretched out here as we're in the garden. How is everybody? Happy Friday. We're here live from our back garden today, and I'm actually get to join this time. So apologies, I wasn't in. On the Tuesday live, I was just finishing off some of my coursework, which I am now done. So I'm glad that's all over. So cheers, happy Friday to everybody.
Cheers. Happy Fri-yay.
And enjoy.
Congratulations that you finished.
That was the slog. That was intense, but I'm glad now, so I can actually join you guys on the Friday live.
What do you have as your drink?
So today I have gone for actual fact. Do you know I prefer it? This is actually oat milk latte.
No, almond.
Almond, sorry, not oat milk. This is almond, but I prefer it to the oat milk. I think.
Oh, really? Okay. And I have got a Soya Caramel Frappuccino with caramel drizzle and normal whipped cream.
As always, she likes the caramel drizzle. Can I have a little try? You can try some of mine.
Why would I want to try your coffee?
Oh my god, that's so sweet. Anyway, cheers.
It's not sweet. It's quite bitter, I feel. It's quite strong.
It tastes sweet to me.
Oh, mine's decaf as well, by the way. So's yours.
Yeah, I don't want to be up all night. So,
well, it wouldn't affect me, to be quite honest.
Tell everybody what we've been up to, or what you went out to do, and then what I ended up enjoying.
So on what day was it that I went?
Wednesday. I wanted to. Was it yesterday? No, it wasn't the Tuesday. It was the Tuesday.
Yeah, it's yesterday. Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was yesterday.
Tuesday. Pav, hello. Hello,
hey,
beautiful
Pavno.
angels. I hope you're well.
We are.
I've had a bad cold for the week, but now I'm recovering. Lemsip is helping a little. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm glad you. Yeah. Go on, you go.
Yeah, sorry, I got a bit muddled. I'm glad to hear that you're getting better, that you're good.
Yes, we're really glad to hear, and I hope you're recovering well. There's a lot of it about, actually. Quite a few people have got colds and have flu. So in the summer as well, which is always bad luck, I think. But I hope you are feeling a bit better. I'm glad to hear you're on the mend.
Yeah, I feel like it's seasonal. You know, you get like seasonal colds, and like I get a seasonal sort of cold at least 4 times a year. Just because of the seasons are changing, you know.
Well, again, we are glad you're feeling a bit better as well. Thank you for joining us. We're going to talk a little bit now about so what did you do yesterday?
So yesterday I went into London and I was just like, oh, let me get some pastries. So
as you know, we like to do.
We like to get.
Well, I don't get to go in. I just like to eat them.
Anyway, so I thought, let me go and get some pastries, but this time I want to get some savory pastries rather than, because we love the sweet pastries and all of that type of stuff. So I said, let's get some savory pastries. So I went out and I got quite a few bits and pieces, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
And we've recorded it all, so it just needs to be we just need to edit and upload it. But obviously, while I was in the bakery, I thought, well, do you know what? While I'm here, I might as well get some sweet treats. And we're going to try them for you live right now.
So, yeah, we are going to do a sweet treat live. So we've done the savoury. We have filmed it. We will upload that so you can see. It's all bakeries in central London again, so you can have an idea of what's available. But if you get to come to central London, do try these. Are very, very nice. I liked every single one of them. There's only 2 you didn't like.
Yeah, which was
anything with goat's cheese in there.
Yeah, and feta.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a lover of feta cheese, and I'm not a lover of goat's cheese, unfortunately.
Oh, I love the Ralph Lauren mug. Thank you. It's one of my favorite. Do you know what? I was going through my tops and I found it today. I thought I'll wear this today. Very fancy. Thank you. Indeed. I was thinking how beautiful it would be for us all to meet up one day in London, have a lovely time together.
Oh, definitely.
We would definitely love that. Actually, it'll be our pleasure to do that. So yeah, let us know. Drop it in the comments when you are in London.
They're on our about page down the bottom. You'll see our email. So just send me an email and I'll pick it up, and then we can all meet up in London. Yeah,
that sounds really good.
Yeah,
that does sound really nice.
So what treats did we get?
Well, you know, because you managed to get them. I haven't seen these.
Actually. So yeah, this will be Mark's first time. So we went to, I went to Gail's, and I picked up a few savoury treats and sweet treats. And I've got to say, Gail's They got it going on in
Are
there.
they a chain? I've never
Yeah.
heard of. They are. I did
They
wonder.
were in Battersea. Remember I
Yeah,
said, oh,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
Gail's
yeah, yeah.
Bakery. This I picked up in where did I go? In Soho. So
What we got?
I don't want to try this one yet.
All right, there's two in here.
This is the one I want to try. Okay, so this I'll show you this one in a second because I saw this and I couldn't let it go. I said I must get it.
Okay.
So this one is a chocolate and almond croissant.
Oh wow.
And I will tell you the reason why I got this chocolate and almond croissant when you pull out the
Do
other.
you know what? It looks like a pan au chocolat,
Chocolat.
but actual fact, look at that, and you've got the almonds on the top. It's very flaky.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got another one, have we?
Yes.
There's nothing else in that bag.
No.
So what we got here?
Okay, so this one is from Arome. Now, Arome, I've got to say, aesthetically, when you go into Arome, it's really nice compared to the well, actually, no, Chestnut Bakery is very nice. So Arome and Chestnut Bakery, when you walk in there, in fact, Chestnut Bakery actually top aesthetically, top Arome. So aesthetically looking. And this one is also a chocolate and almond croissant.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you guys see the difference there. So this one on the left is Gail's. This one on the right is Arome. So you can see, actually, there's quite a difference in size here. This one is much larger than this one, as he says, all the pastry flaking everywhere. But look, it's very flaky pastry, but more almonds on this one compared to this one. There we go. So we are going to try and try these both. They do look amazing.
They look wow. Okay, so
now you can't. Unfortunately, you guys can't see us cutting them at the moment, but we will lift them up so you can see.
Okay, so cut that one.
So we've just cut the Gail's. We're now just cutting the Arome.
Okay, so you can go ahead and show.
Okay, so half a Gail's, half an Arome. Now, as you can see here, this seems to have a lot more chocolate filling in, as you can see from the top there, than this one.
I don't know, because that one's got it spread across.
Yeah, this one just seems to have a little in a clump. So we're going to try.
All right, so okay, so you're cutting it in half again.
You're doing the same.
Yeah, but there's only going to be chocolate in one part of it.
Yeah, same here. So we'll try this one. So this is
okay.
Gail's.
So this is Gail's. Ching ching.
Gail's. That's really good. Do you know what? I prefer it without chocolate.
Really?
Yeah. Chocolate and almond, I think, it's nice. That's a beautiful croissant, but that's just my preference.
I like it. I don't know if I can ever go back to normal almond croissant again.
Really? You like it that much?
I mean, almond croissants in general.
Why?
Because I like chocolate and almond.
Oh, I see. All right, here you go. I don't know.
Okay.
So this is now the Arome?
Yeah, but I need to quickly.
So this is the Arome one. Now this one feels a lot lighter than the other one.
I just got to finish what's in my mouth. Because I'm chewing. But Mark's faster at eating than I am.
I don't mess around, you see. This is the thing.
No, and he's ready to move on. Give me a second.
Take your time. You might be here a while. All right, here we go.
Okay.
I like that one. But I know which one you're going to prefer.
I said it and I say it again. Arome is the best croissant, almond and chocolate croissant I think I've ever tasted.
Really? I always thought you'd say the other.
Really? Gail's?
I thought you were going to go with Gail's. I prefer this because I can't taste the chocolate.
Now, I've had Arome before. And I have said that it's one of the best croissants I think I've ever tasted.
I've got to say, this is really, really good, guys. If you are coming into London, do try. We've tried plenty of Arome now, and we've never found a poor one yet.
Yeah, I don't think there has been a bad Arome cake. To be fair, there's not been a bad Gail's
No,
either. And Gail's we tried for the first time yesterday because I've seen it around and around, and I kept meaning to pop by there. But there isn't a Gail's in Covent Garden, so I hope they open a Gail's soon in Covent Garden.
that is by far better. That's better. Do you know why I think it is as well? As you can see there, that's a very thin layer of chocolate there, whereas the girls one, you can't really see because we've taken a bite, but there's a massive wedge of it, and I think that's why it tastes better. This one tastes better. Also, as well, I think the almond paste is better.
Yeah, the almond paste.
It's a lot softer.
The croissant is lighter.
And do you know what's nice with this as well? Actual fact, what happens is it caramelizes at the ends, and that is so good. It's almost like an apple pie sort of caramelization. It's that good. I've got to say that is amazing. Really, really have rated that. So out of the two, what would you give the Gail's one?
I'd probably give the Gail's 6 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
Really?
It was okay. The other one, Arome,
9, 9.5.
I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9. It's very, very good. So
they very, very good.
9 for Arome. Pav said, sounds great. I'd love bakery. My gosh, they look beautiful. I bought the custard trifle yesterday, carrot cake, and has always been my favorite. Although, oh really? So you're a real carrot cake.
Where did you go to get your carrot cake?
Where did you get your carrot cake from?
What bakeries do you like? What's your favorite?
And where did you go? Are you going to? Is it Reading, Pav, that you're in? I always forget. Was it Oxford? I always forget.
I think it's Reading.
I thought it was Reading. But
yeah. I don't know why. I've got to say, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
I really do like Arome stuff. I also like. I just breathed and swallowed at the same time.
All right, don't do that. Right, so yeah, we were definitely going to say go with Arome. If you're there, really recommend that.
I do recommend Gail's and Chestnut as well.
Yeah, Gail's was good actually for the savouries. Please do watch our video though when it comes up. You'll be able to see what we did for the savoury. But as for that is delicious. That is really good. That Arome croissant, and you can see there, that's just a half of it. Delicious. Right, what else did you get? I noticed there's another thing in there.
Well, open your favourite. I got you.
Can I open mine? Yeah. I haven't seen this actually. Do you know what? I'm going to let you guys see it first. I don't know what it is. Oh, what is it? Oh, it's lemon meringue pie. Look at that. Where's this one from?
This one is from Arome. Another
Arome. I think Arome's fast becoming our favourite bakery. Look. And you can see from there, you've got the lemon slices. And that, look at, if I just squidge that, you can just see how soft that is.
I don't know. I've got to say, it's a cross between Arome and Chestnut.
So I'm going to cut this in half. It's so light. I've got to be very careful here because this will just fall apart.
Yeah.
Now you can see here, it looks like custard actually on the lemon meringue.
Lemon curd, I should imagine.
It's got that custardy feel to it.
Thank you.
Right, mine's falling apart, so I'm just going to have to go for it.
There we go.
Here we are, guys. That's really good. I'd actually have that a bit more sour, but I know you wouldn't.
No.
But it's very, very sweet.
This for me is really good.
That pie is amazing. So you can just see from there, look, just how unctuous that is. You've got the, what's that, meringue at the top. Very, very thick, generous layer of lemon there. And look, I'm just squeezing it. You can just see how soft that is. But that pastry is so flaky. It really, really is nice. And then the smell as well. You get that real smell of the meringue. That's delicious.
Can you pass some tissue?
Yeah. There we go. So there we are. There's a little taste test. You get to see it live on our line.
Got another one.
Oh, we've got another one.
Got one more.
It just gets better, actually. I did no idea that there was all these cakes. I'm glad we did have a big lunch as well. So this is just a...
Well, Mark had a big lunch.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm just going to put this back in here so I can enjoy that later. I've got to say that meringue is really good. Really, really good. Okay, so this is another Gail's. Now this.
Oh, wow.
Now this is a pecan crumb.
God, there's bugs everywhere. This is what happens when you film outside. Wow. It's almost like a crumble in a... It's difficult to describe. Can you see that? It almost looks like a pork pie from the base, but it's not, obviously. And it's just crumb. It's almost like a cross between a crumble and a cake.
Yeah. I saw it and I thought, I must try it.
Right, okay. So we're going to go for the crumb. You can actually hear people's lawnmowers going next door.
I wonder if it's going to be dry.
Oh, now this is interesting. I thought this would have like an apple filling or something.
Yeah, so did I.
But it's not. It's all crumb.
I think this looks like a cake you need with a drink, with a hot drink. But we'll see.
Oh, so I usually get mine from Tesco. And no, I'm from Bedford, which isn't far from London.
Oh.
I usually take my younger brother and other places with me as blood is thicker than water. But no, we'll definitely do that up for that, Pav. We really would look forward to doing that. All right, we're going to give this a little try.
I can really smell cinnamon in that. It's really... That's like a biscuit.
Yeah.
Mm.
For me, go on.
Go on.
This is weird.
Go on.
Would I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Would I order it again? No. And I'll tell you what, it's not that I don't like it, but there's other better cakes.
I'm exactly the same. Nice. Good. Nothing wrong with it. I do feel you need a cup of tea.
Oh, you need a drink with that, 100%.
Definitely need a drink with it.
It's very odd as well, because it's almost like a cross. It looks like it's a cake in there. There's definitely a crumble on top. So it's almost like a cake with a crumble on top. But also there's nuts in here. So if you have a nut allergy, this is not for you.
No. Well, none of them, because they've all got nuts.
Oh, have they? Okay. So,
well,
yeah. Oh, yeah, the others have.
Why do you take off the top and then you put the rest on my plate? Take it off and then put it on my plate.
I'm not having the side.
I think you need a drink with it. And Mark is absolutely right. It's nice. There's nothing wrong with it. But we've been spoiled because we've had other better things. I think for you, your favourite is probably the meringue. Oh.
No, do you know what? It's difficult. It would be between the meringue and the almond.
I would choose the almond over the meringue. But if I wanted something a bit fruity or I wasn't feeling as heavy as a chocolate croissant, I would go for the meringue. Because that meringue is ultra light. It's not as heavy as a croissant. But also, I think, for me, I would like a drink with my croissant. Yeah. Even though it's light and you've got the almond paste in there, which is really good, by the way. And the chocolate is really good. And I'm talking about the Arome chocolate and almond croissant. I still feel, do you know what? It'd be nice with a little bit of a drink with it.
But you know, funny enough, we haven't mentioned the Gail's almond croissant at all.
No, we did. We said...
No, since our first review on it. And I think that says a lot. I think it's because, for me, there's too much chocolate in there. And for me, it doesn't go.
Do you know what? For me, if I hadn't tasted the Arome, I would have enjoyed that.
No, I disagree. I wouldn't have. I would have said I prefer the almond.
See that, because the thing is this.
It's too much in there.
I had already tried the chocolate and almond croissant from Arome before, and at the time I didn't even have it fresh. I had it, might have been 2 or 3 days, I think, before I tried it, because we had so many sweet things to eat that by the time I got to the chocolate and almond, it was like 3 days later or something, and I ate it, and even then it was nice. So to have it now, it's really delicious. I find it really, really good. But if I, like I said, if I hadn't had if I hadn't had the Arome, I probably would have liked that one. But because I'd had the Arome, and I knew it was a bold statement, because I had said to you before, and I said on a live, that the best chocolate and almond croissant I had ever tasted, and only chocolate and almond croissant at that point, was Arome. But I found it better than a normal almond croissant.
Yeah, I agree. But with the girls one, it's too much chocolate in there. To me, the almond and chocolate doesn't go.
Right.
I wouldn't. I'm not the world's biggest chocolate fan anyway. But
Right.
I've just tried it again just to double check, and yeah, I would much prefer an almond croissant.
Oh, definitely chocolate and almond go, because you get chocolate.
Elisa said, "What time do you call this?" Hello, Lee.
I was running a bit late because, so basically we have a camera that we attached to the laptop, and while I was setting up the YouTube, like to go live, I neglected to plug in the camera, and then when I went to plug it in, it then wouldn't film. So it was just, yeah. But yeah, there we go. But we're up and running. Marcus,
I was just trying this one again. So
of course.
that lemon meringue pie is amazing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm not that. The girls one was disappointing for me,
Yeah, it wasn't disappointing. I think that
even though I'm still eating it.
it's good,
Yeah, I disagree.
but you're still eating it.
The best bits of it are the pastry itself. The filling is a disappointing bit.
I think it's good, and I wouldn't. If somebody gave it to me in a thing, I wouldn't say, "Oh no, I don't want to eat that." It's good. It is good, but the aroma is better.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Perhaps have you a bit lol? Does that Lisa? Have you both tried the drunch in Mayfair? The pancakes and the atmosphere look really nice.
Do you know?
I've not heard of the drunch.
Do you know what it is? Right, I zone in a specific place in London.
Get some water, so I've had so much of this.
I zone in a specific place in London. So for me, I like Covent Garden, and I don't mind Soho. I feel like when I get to Oxford Street, it's just like there's so many people, and not that there isn't a load of people in Covent Garden, because there is, but I feel like Oxford Street was better when I was younger. So like walking up and down, even though there was a lot of people, you didn't mind so much. Plus, you had a few more department stores. Now that they're beginning to close a lot of the department stores, they closed the big HMV and things like that. So I don't venture to there too much. The only time we do go to sort of Mayfair is if we go to the Chesterfield, or if we're going to the Ritz, because Mayfair just sort of backs that. So then we will step into Mayfair then. But we don't really, we don't go a lot to Mayfair, although they have just opened up a new Ivy Asia there. So I think I would like to go to the Ivy Asia that's there. And also the other place that I don't venture to, well, the two other places I don't venture too much, Knightsbridge, because I just feel like it's out the way. And what's the other one? Knightsbridge and you know, like Knightsbridge and Kensington, South Kensington, Belgravia, you know, all those sorts of areas. And sometimes I don't like, you might go to these areas and people are like, they're a bit more, and I don't really like that sort of thing. But I mean, but when you go to Sloane Square and places like that, they are really, really nice. And they do like this little flower show sometimes, and they decorate all the stores with flowers, and they have all of these sort of like flowered statues and things like that. So it can be very, very nice when you're going down that way. But sometimes I just feel it's a bit out the way. But there is a place sort of not too far from there which you want to try. I think it's Egg Slut.
Yes. So I do want to try it. So Egg Slut is actually a breakfast place that just does eggs, hence the name. And that's something when we went to Las Vegas, there was an Egg Slut there we wanted to try. But we never got round to doing
There
it.
was always a queue as well.
Yeah, it was really popular.
Yeah, it was very popular. There is another place that's called Egg Something that I wanted to tell you about, and I thought, oh, you probably will like that, where everything is eggs.
But thank you for the tip, though, Pav. We will have a look at that actually. We don't end up going to Mayfair that often, but we will be in town this weekend at some point, so we will have a little look around and see if we can check that out. And that, funny enough, that's what Kelly and I were saying. We would like to try some decent breakfast places in London.
Yeah.
The trouble is for us, of course, that means we've got to get up mega early on the weekend to get into London to do that. So we were thinking one day we might try and book a hotel, stay overnight, and then in the morning we can just be straight in central London somewhere.
I think for me, it's not a problem getting up early.
It is for me.
Yeah, I think for you it's more difficult, but I could get up early, and that's not a problem for me to sort of say,
Because
oh
I've
yeah,
got to do it every single day for work.
yeah. But I mean, even when I was like and did it every single day, I could still get up early on the weekends. It's not really. It's never really been a problem.
I can get up, I just don't want to.
Yeah, it's never really. Yeah, I think as time's gone on, it's got a bit more difficult for you, really. But I get up early regardless. So yeah, so it wouldn't be a problem for me. My problem is if I get up and I don't go into the shower straight away, then that's it. I'm just lazy. Then I reach that lazy mode and things like that. So when I do get up, I do try to go in the bathroom, because otherwise I'm just lazing about and living life. You know, I'm thinking, oh, I'll go in later. Blah, blah.
Not bad, is it? Not bad. But yes, so any other recommendations, guys, please do keep them coming in, because we would love to try those. Again, we like to share what we've discovered for you, but we always like to have new ideas. And you guys do come up with some good ones, so we would like to try that.
There's there are a few places that I've seen that I would like to try. But I've got to say, I really enjoyed those three bakeries, Chestnut Gales and Arome.
Yeah.
It's a hard decision between it's a hard decision between Chestnut and Arome. Which one I like, I've got to be honest. Because in Chestnut we had the apple crumble pastry.
Yeah.
The strawberry and elderflower pastry, and the orange and ricotta croissant. We also had the focaccia and the aubergine croissant.
So these will all be ones you'll be able to see on the video when we do post them. We will be going to more bakeries. I know you guys are probably thinking, that's all you do, just go Chestnuts, Gales and Rome. We will do more, but what we wanted to do is have do quite a few of their pastries over a range of a couple of videos, just so you can see what's on offer, and then we're going to move on to some other bakeries for you guys to have a look at.
Because I think with those ones there were so many cakes and so many things, but we've already done Chestnut Bakery, so you will see Chestnut Bakery. It was in my bakery. I did a bakery video where we tried sort of different things, and that's already uploaded. But this time when I went, I wanted to try savory things. So we then went, or I say we, I then went and tried sort of like different savory things. And I think with regards to, I don't know, I can't even tell you which bakery I liked more with the savories. I can't tell you which.
I was gone. Well, you'll see the video. You'll see the video.
And I like to go to bakeries where I like several different things, because sometimes you go to one place and you only like one thing. And you go to that place and you have that one thing. Whereas when you go to Gail's, Chestnut and Arome, there's several different things you can try, and several different things you'll enjoy. So I think that's the good thing about it. I also went, which I didn't film. I'm gonna sit back now. I also went to the Golden Gate Bakery,
Oh, did you?
which is a bakery in
Yeah,
Chinatown.
in Chinatown. Yeah, you didn't go to that one.
I did go to that
you
one.
didn't bring anything back.
I did.
What did you bring back?
I brought back roast pork pastries.
Oh, okay.
I bought back these roast pork
I was going to
pastries.
say I was there waiting for this cake to come out, but no.
No, because I didn't get any cake from there really. I just got my pastries because the thing was, um, I hadn't had breakfast, so when I got back, I thought, oh, I want to eat something, so let me get these pork pastries,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
that's what I had until you were ready in the
Right,
evening,
right,
then
right.
to enjoy the other
Pastries you did,
pastries. Yeah. But we got we got quite a few things. But I really do enjoy the pork pastries. So if you're ever in Chinatown and you want to try, if you eat pork, if you like pork, they do these great pork pastries. But they also do vegetarian ones. So you have red bean ones that they do. They do coconut ones. If you like fish, they do tuna and onion and all that. I wasn't sure whether you would like it, so I didn't bring you back anything from Golden Gate, but I brought you obviously stuff back from other places, which we also enjoyed today.
Very good, very good. Now we will be doing. It's going to be a little surprise, but we are going somewhere this weekend, like I say, for a little surprise. We will film it,
Yes.
and it's something we've been wanting to do for quite a while, and it
Yes.
took me a while to book it. So it will be a surprise, but we will let you see it when we're uploading, and we will try and upload it next week.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as we get back, we'll
Yeah.
sort to try and sort of start to edit it. The other thing that I really liked from which you, I don't know if we filmed it before, but the other thing that I liked from Arome was their honey toast.
Oh no, the honey toast. This is a big recommendation from us. I think that's the thing we scored the highest. You'll see it when it's there, and it doesn't look like much. You'd think it yourself, well, that just looks like a big blob of cake or something, but it's very, very good.
Very good.
Very good. We will recommend that as well. We will show you that in our video as well. Wedges will be up and coming.
Yeah.
It's thirsty work, this.
I'm telling you. There are so many things that I would recommend from Chestnut Gales and Arome, and we haven't even tried half the stuff that they have.
No,
yet.
exactly. So that's what, like I said, we wanted to spread it over several videos. So we do eat more places than just those, but we just wanted to show you what they have in store. We will be moving on though and doing some other ones very, very soon.
Yeah, it's just a case of finding. I mean, because there are some bakeries that are extortionate, and I do want to. There's one in Knightsbridge that I really do want to try, but it's so pricey. I think it's like £10 for
a cake.
Yeah, and
For a cake.
and all of that. But that's what I'm saying. They're like really expensive, but there are other ones that I want to try. There are other places that I've had a look at, which other people have rated. But when I've looked at their cakes and stuff, I'm thinking, really, seriously? And I don't know if I would go there, but we'll see. Because sometimes you can. It's better when you view it live rather than in the picture or.
Now, one thing we have noticed with the cakes, it's amazing how different they taste, even if you leave it a few hours. The pizza that you brought back as well, I couldn't get over the fact that how not deteriorates, but how I think the condensation had built up in
Right,
the thing,
yeah.
and how that affects the pizza. So it really is worth it. I mean, it was just unfortunate, obviously, because I'm working at the moment. Kelly, I can't go into London. Kelly has to go in, pick them all up. When I finish work, then we film. But so at the moment, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and a lot of the bakeries, you have to get there before a certain time.
Yeah, that's right.
If you don't get there, if you don't get to that bakery before that time, that's it. And the thing was, Arome is closed Monday and Tuesday. And sometimes when I go into London, it might be on a Monday or it might be on a Tuesday. And those are so I knew I wanted to go on a day and hit Arome on a day that it was open. And when I went in, so when I got into London, it was about 11 o'clock by the time I got to the pastry shops. And when I got to Rome, there was a couple people in front of me. And then there was a father and daughter outside the shop. So I just figured, oh, the mum must be in the shop because they were doddering outside. And I just thought, oh, and there was people sitting. So basically, there are about 4 benches outside, but they fit about 3 people comfortably on this bench, and there's about 3 of them, or possibly 4, that are outside the shop window when you walk up. And there were already people sitting there. Some that had had their own sandwiches and stuff. Some people that were just taking a rest, and then some people that had actually been in Arome. But there's no table there. It's just literally a bench for you to sit on. And I've noticed that some people who get their stuff from Arome then go outside and sit on this bench, and they eat whatever it is that they bought. And so when I got there, there was a man who really just skipped in before I did, and I was just like, okay, calm down. And I was just videoing sort of like the treats that they had and all that, and you could see like some of them had gone already. And although my aim, like I said, was there to go and get what you call it, savory stuff, sometimes when I see the sweet stuff, I just think to myself, hey.
Well, you've got to. It's funny. Well, that's the thing, because you're there as well. I can imagine that, and I would be the same. Even if my goal was just to get savory stuff, you'd see the case. Oh, but while I'm here, you've got to do that. So I think that's what we wanted to do. What was interesting as well, do you find, because places like Arome and stuff like that aren't mega fancy inside, they'll be a place, but the food is so good. I have found there's some places where it's so fancy inside, it isn't justified with the cakes. Now I'm thinking exclusively, now not to get into trouble, but we did do a review on, now we thought it was called L&N, but it's Elan, I think. So it's
I think it's pronounced Elan.
Ampersand and N. E-L-and N.
Yeah.
Elan with it. We'll call it Elan.
Yeah.
Now I liked the cakes in there. You weren't too fussed.
I
like one cake, I should say.
I am difficult to. My expectations when I have pastries are very high, and I will tell you, I don't know the reason, but if I have to surmise, a lot of times when you go, I don't have dessert at places because a lot of the time I feel like I am going to be disappointed.
I agree.
And the thing is, gone are the days when they used to wheel out the trolley and all these desserts, you know, and because that's what you would be looking forward to, the trolley of desserts.
Do you know what annoys me? I think when, especially in England, and it's mainly in England, and that is what I call, I'll order a dessert and that's the size you get. It'll be that, and I think to myself, that's £7, and I've had this tiny wedge of something which was hardly a couple of mouthfuls, and that's it. And I thought it's just not worth £7.
I think the price of things wouldn't affect me in any type of way. The only thing that affects me is something that looks nice. They make it look gorgeous, and then you taste it, and you're so. And this is with buffets all over. Anytime I go to a buffet,
I can understand.
There's only one buffet, just one, that I've been to, and I've enjoyed. 2 buffets that I've been to, and I enjoyed the dessert, and even the second one. One is the Wicked Spoon in Vegas, Las Vegas. The desserts are really good, like really good. And I was going to say the second one, the Ned, but even then, the Ned is like a.
Oh no! Well, come on, the Ned was good.
The Ned is all right for desserts.
The Ned was good for desserts. I know you don't like cheese, but the cheese board there in the Ned was fantastic.
That is not a dessert. I'm talking about desserts, not cheese board. That's different.
All right, the cake pops are really good. I enjoyed those. The custard was good. I'm sure, I can't remember, but from memory, I'm sure they had an apple pie that was really, really good.
Yeah, I remember the apple pie I didn't enjoy because the apples were sour, but I know you feel differently. You think they should be sour.
That's how they're supposed to be.
Okay. And I feel that.
I'm looking over there because the bags are there and I'm worried they're going to blow over.
Yeah, I feel like, it's much of a muchness. Do you want to put this cake in there and that will sturdy it then? And it won't blow over. I feel like it's it's very difficult because I do get disappointed with desserts, And I love a good Black Forest gatto. Now, there was one place that did a great Black Forest gatto, but they no longer operate during the pandemic, unfortunately. They closed down, and they've gone now to online shop.
What
But
was that?
Black Forest gatto. But the
No,
problem,
which place? Was it called Black Forest?
yeah,
Oh, wow.
well, not the place,
I was
but
going to
yeah,
say, the place.
but they don't deliver. You have to
Okay.
go there and pick it up. And so, yeah, it's just one of them things. I think that um, when you taste something good as well, you're kind of spoiled. So then anything else becomes inferior, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. I think also as well, that's it. Once you reach that threshold, so anyone that's just joined, we've just finished a live taste testing for the cakes that we bought from Gail's, from Chestnut, and from Arome. We were just talking about setting the standards of cake. Now, one thing, as Kelly said, I find this as well. When you try a fantastic cake like we've just had, so that Arome croissant sets the benchmark. So any other almond croissant you have then from then on in, you're just going to
Yeah,
get disappointed if it doesn't hit that standard.
yeah. And there, don't get me wrong, there are some things that I can eat that aren't, all that, like with Toby Carvery when they do their syrup sponge. I can eat that. It's not the greatest syrup sponge,
Well,
but
yeah,
I
but
can,
it's
I
cheap.
can,
You don't expect
yeah,
it.
I can slum it. It's fine, and I enjoy it. But there, like I said, there are certain desserts that I can have, or certain puddings that I can have, where my expectation is not so high. Therefore, I can still, I can still sort of enjoy the simple things. Like I love Nando's, I love KFC, I like, I love Toby's, I love. So there are things that they don't have to be. Um, Number one, we couldn't afford it. If I wanted to eat every day in some salubrious restaurant, um, and I don't always like rich food.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Obviously, we're doing taste tests for cakes just so you guys can see it. But
Yeah,
before you think, we don't actually eat cakes every
yeah.
day.
And like even
Although we are at the moment.
Mark say, "Oh, do you want a cake?" And I'll be like, "No, not really." Um, and yeah, I we don't eat cakes every day.
Oh, Richard, hello.
Hey, Richard.
Now, Richard's asked a question. He said, "What's a syrup sponge?" I have a sponge in the shower. Right, we will tell. This is a
Sponge in the shower.
This is a British dessert. Do you want me to explain it, or do you want to explain it?
Will you explain it?
So a syrup sponge is basically the best way I can describe it. It's the very same mixture you would have as a cake. So it's, if you imagine, we call it a sponge. Basically, we mean a sponge cake. So it's what you do is you get your mixture. So it's butter, sugar, eggs, flour, and what you do is you would take a bowl and you would line the base of that bowl with syrup. So a really cake. Got it? He said, yeah. You'd line the base of the bowl with a lot of syrup. So syrup's almost like a bit like, I think you know a syrup.
Yeah.
Think of it like maple syrup, but actually a slightly different type of case.
It's slightly denser than what you would call a chiffon cake. So, like with a chiffon, I think, which is our version of a genoise, it's you mix the eggs in a certain way and you mix the butter in a certain way, but you would forego that, and that is what you'd maybe pound cake might be the
Pound
closest
cake, he
thing.
said, yeah.
Yeah,
Pound cake.
I was about to say pound cake is probably the
But
closest
what
thing.
the difference is with this, you would put the batter on top of that syrup, but instead of baking it, you steam it. So you'll put it in a bain-marie and you steam that for hours, and the steam cooks and it makes it a lot more moister than a regular cake. It's very, very moist. Once you've had that, you tip that upside down, and all that syrup will then just drip all in, and it soaks into the sponge as well.
Yeah.
And then what you do is traditionally you would serve that. You can have ice cream, but you traditionally would serve it with custard. But you
Yeah.
can have it with ice
But
cream.
I have it with ice cream.
Kelly was having it with ice cream. And anyway, the ice cream will just melt into that as well. So that is a syrup sponge.
And when you have it hot with ice cream, hey, that's delicious. Hot with ice cream.
You can get them in the United States. I'll tell you why, because I have seen YouTubers get them. Certain places will sell them. I'm sure you would be able to find a place that does British snacks in Chicago somewhere. And the ones we tend to have are is it Lyle's or Mr. Kipling do them. So you can actually get them where you microwave them. You put their tiny little pots in there and you can microwave them.
Yeah, I think you can also get them in tins.
Yeah, you can get them in tins as well.
You can get them in tins. I think the best, and it's not even a syrup sponge, but the closest thing that I can think of when we've gone is, you know, when we went to have fish and chips at in the park,
Yeah.
and they did the Victoria sponge,
Oh yeah,
and that was they steamed that sponge.
Yeah.
And that is the closest thing that I can say that I've had.
I'll tell you something though, Richard. I would recommend you trying a sponge pudding or doing a steamed sponge, purely because it does have a slightly different texture and it has a slightly different taste. If you just have sponge and nothing else, it can be a bit, not dry, but it can be a bit plain. You want something with it. So you would, like I said, normally, traditionally in England, you would get a pudding, a pudding bowl or a bowl, one that you can actually put in a glass one, and then you would line that with, you just sort of line it with butter, and then you put your topping on there. You probably could use maple syrup and try that, and then you put your batter on top of that, and then you steam it for 2 hours. So I know it's a bit of an effort, but it is worth doing.
Because they steam Christmas pudding, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's steamed, but again, that's for a couple of hours.
Yeah, but whenever you when you do have it, it's sticky.
Yeah.
So it will. So when you if you pick it up with your hands or anything like that, it will. And that when they said, because when we went to the park and they said it was Victoria sponge, I said to Mark, that's not a Victoria sponge. It's been steamed, and you don't normally steam a Victoria sponge.
No, you would bake a Victoria.
You would bake a Victoria sponge. But when I was eating it, it got stuck to my hands, and I thought, this is not.
Richard said, we have some British stores and pubs in Chicago. Many expats hang out in the north side of Chicago to watch the EPLs. We have some Chicago LFC fan pubs here. Oh, okay. They serve some British food too. Tanika, hello.
Hey, Tanika.
Well, thank you. We've just been doing a little taste test on the different cakes that we bought in Kelly bought in central London. So we've just tried Gail's Bakery.
We tried Gail's and Arome. We didn't try Chestnut.
We didn't try Chestnut, and we did Arome as well. But we've just finished those on the taste test. But we will be doing a video very, very soon that will show you all the cakes that we've tried, plus all the savoury ones. We did a savoury taste test, so you guys can have a little look at that.
If you go to Chestnut Bakery, I highly recommend the tahini and sesame cookie. It's so good. I bought it again and I ate it yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
I was watching Love Island and I ate my cookie to myself, and I was going, can I have some? And I said, you didn't even like it. And he's like, I want to try it. And you didn't like it. I was eating it. It was so good. So I highly recommend the tahini and sesame seed cookie from Chestnut Bakery.
Right. So while we're a little out to the United States, what was your favourite cakes when we were in the United States? So I'll start off. One of my favourites is when we went to the Cheesecake Factory and we had the pineapple. That was my favourite, the pineapple cheesecake. And I think it's pineapple upside down cheesecake.
Yeah, it was based on pineapple upside down cake. That was cheesecake.
That was one of my favourite desserts when I went to the United States. That was so good. Tanika says, good, thank you. I did some acupuncture today for the first time, and now I'm sorting through my clothes. I'm off to Greece on the 9th. Fingers crossed the flights are okay.
Yeah.
Sounds lovely. I really had a nice banana and chocolate cake today too. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, good luck for your Greece holiday.
Yeah, I was just like, I hope the flights go well for you and stuff like that. I've not heard anything too much lately, so
no.
It seems that everything is going okay now. I think since they threatened them and said you must cancel flight, you've got to let people know in good time and things like that. I think it seems to have calmed down. I've not heard anything too much.
Oh, Richard said, well done, Mark. The Cheesecake Factory is awesome.
Yeah.
So the Cheesecake Factory, that was my favourite. We did try the red velvet cheesecake, which for me was not a patch on the pineapple. The pineapple one was my favourite by far. I
love the Cheesecake Factory, but I mainly like the food rather than the cheesecake. And the reason is, for me, it's too huge.
Yeah, they are big.
They are very big. but also a lot of them are baked, and I'm not really a lover of baked
see, now, I
cheesecake,
do
but
like
you
baked.
love
I
baked
love
cheesecake.
baked. New York baked cheesecake is for me is
Yeah,
delicious.
I'm not a lover of baked cheesecake, and so, but I do love the Cheesecake Factory. I think the food there is really nice.
So, go on, your favorite dessert.
My favorite
The ones
dessert
you
is
like.
really difficult because do you know why? The one that stands out, it's peach cobbler.
Oh yeah. So the peach cobbler we had in the United States was. We had it in two different places.
Peach cobbler.
Our favourite though would have been the Wicked Spoon
Yeah,
restaurant. It was Wicked Spoon buffet in Las Vegas.
and ambrosia.
Oh yeah, you like the
I
ambrosia.
love, love, love. I looked up a recipe the other day on how to make it, and I'm gonna make it. Ambrosia, I love it.
But yeah, the cheese cobbler, the peach cobbler was delicious. That was one of my favourite ones. The only thing I tell you, I was disappointed about in the United States. People keep raving about Twinkie bars, Twinkies, and I had one. And my God, no, it wasn't for me. I'll leave it there, but I did not like it.
The two things that are not my things, and I had them years ago in the 90s, was a Twinkie, of which I didn't like, and the other thing was corn dogs. And I know that's very, very big over there, so apologies if I've offended anybody. But corn dogs, I didn't like the battered. I didn't like the batter. Um, but the Korean corn dogs,
Yeah, they were
that's
good.
a different story.
Richard said we have better and richer ingredients in our cheesecake. Brits are not used to the rich taste, but I do like it. It is very
Yeah,
rich.
you like it.
What I liked about it, actually, if you check out one of my previous videos, in Friends, the TV series, there's one episode there called Cheesecake Worth Stealing. And we bought the official Friends cookbook. So I actually made the recipe. And what was interesting is I had to put sour cream in it and bake it.
Yeah.
So I made the cheesecake, and then I had to put sour cream on top of it and bake it again. And I'll tell you something, that sour cream was delicious when it's baked. It really is good.
See, the thing with me about baked cheesecake, for me, it takes away the creaminess.
See, no,
So,
I disagree.
so when you so
No,
when
no.
when I make cheesecake, I use well, obviously cream cheese, and I whip it up and I put the sugar in and whatever flavorings it is, like an amaretto or whatnot, or white chocolate cheesecake or something like that. But the creaminess is already there
Yeah.
in the cheese. Once you bake it, the creaminess of it, which is like it will be like if you baked double cream.
Yeah.
The creaminess is gone. So it then becomes the only time, and I don't know if they're the only time I've actually liked baked cheesecake, and I don't even know if it's baked, if theirs is baked, is Wagamama's white chocolate and ginger cheesecake.
No, that's not baked.
But it doesn't look. But I tell you for why I think it's baked, because it's perfectly formed.
Well, Richard said, yeah, I'm with Mark on the cheesecake stuff. I didn't realise, actually, I read up, if this interests anybody at all, but cheesecake was actually invented in the US, but it was actually originally a savoury thing. So you would have it, and you'd have it as a starter, not as a dessert.
Oh.
So what you would do is you would have things like spinach in it, or broccoli, or things like that, and it would be a baked cheesecake. All of them would have been baked, and you would have had it as a starter.
Oh, that's why they're baked.
And then over the years, they've changed the recipe and made it as a dessert.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Twinkies, they're gross. I'm sorry, I didn't want to offend anybody, but I took a bite into it because people have been raving about it on shows. And it's the filling is so synthetic tasting. I thought, oh no, this is not for me.
When I went, I wanted to try loads of things that you sort of, because over here we were brought up on a lot of American shows.
Yeah.
So you had things like, I don't know, A-Team, and you had what's the other, Knight Rider, and you had Baywatch.
You can tell
and
our
you
age
had,
group now.
you had I don't know, things like Alf and the Golden Girls and Soap and Cheers and all of those sorts of programs. So that we were brought up on a lot of American programs when we were growing up.
Alicia said Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell. Well, before Saved by the Bell, it was Miss Bliss, which was Donna Mills. Is it Donna Mills? Yeah, because she's John Mills' daughter.
Okay.
Anyway, so we were brought up on a lot of American TV shows. So when you hear things like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a Twinkie and this, But when I got to the States, I knew I wanted to try Baby Ruth. I wanted to try Twinkies. I wanted to try a corn dog, and I wanted to try all this stuff. And so I did. But I've got to say, my favourite is probably Baby Ruth, and I also like turtles.
Oh yeah.
Turtles are quite
Oh,
nice.
Richard said, have you tried a Chicago dog? No, what's a Chicago dog?
No.
I'm assuming it's like a hot dog, but a version of it. Oh, at least you said Happy Days as well. Remember Happy
Yeah,
Days?
Happy Days.
Monday,
Yeah.
Tuesday, happy. No, I've not tried a Chicago dog. Were you interested as well? Because the other thing we always see raving about was Philly steaks.
Oh yeah, cheesesteaks. That's what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
And I was watching the Goldbergs, and they were talking about the best
Philly steaks.
Philly steaks, and he said no, the best Philly steak is not even in Philadelphia. I think it was in New York or
Yeah,
something.
that's right,
And
yeah.
so they drove to New York or wherever it was, and he said that's the best Philly steak that he's ever had. But I have yet to try a Philly cheese. I have tried one, but it wasn't in the States. I think I'm sure it was here.
Really?
I
Here?
want to say Subway were doing a version.
Oh, they could have done, but I'm sure that's got to be nowhere near like the
No,
original.
no. I would like to go to a good place and try a cheesesteak.
So Richard said, so listen to this. Chicago dog is hot dog with mustard, relish, onion, tomato, pickle, peppers, and celery salt. So almost like a hot dog, but with all those things in a hot dog with
Yeah.
mustard, relish, onions, tomato. So it's almost like a
So,
burger filling.
is it tomato ketchup or fresh tomatoes?
I think it looks like fresh tomatoes.
I wouldn't have the pickles because I don't like pickles. You like pickles.
Very messy. Yeah, I love pickles.
And I would have it with the mustard, and I would have it with the onions. I would have it with the celery salt. But I wouldn't.
Yeah, fresh tomatoes.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have. Yeah, I don't like tomatoes. I don't mind sun-dried tomatoes. I'll have sun-dried tomatoes. And if I put them, I normally do. There is a Malaysian style curry that I do, and I do put tomatoes in that.
Hi, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
How are you?
But I don't. Yeah, I don't. I normally put all my tomatoes in your plate or whatever.
Yeah, Kelly can't stand tomatoes.
Tomatoes and cucumbers.
Wow, 502 followers. You are really
Wow.
ramping it up. You're gonna have to take us soon.
I'm telling you. Yeah, that and what you call it? Cucumbers.
Yeah, I know.
Cucumbers, celery, tomatoes.
Well, the other thing is, well, you'll see this on the video as well. So we did buy. It was absolutely amazing bagel from Arome. So this bagel was it had.
That wasn't from Arome. That was from Gail's.
Oh, from Gail's. That was really good. So the bagel, cream cheese, loads of fresh salmon. It was smoked salmon. There was absolutely huge wedge of it. On top of that, they had watercress. They had, I think, other types of lettuce as well. Rocket, I think it was.
Yeah. Other type of leaves.
And they had pickled cucumber, which I've not had before. And that slight tang of the pickled cucumber was so good. If you are there, do try Gail's. I'm
telling you, the fillings in Gail's are not lacking at all. So much filling in the bagel. It was unbelievable.
Oh, hang on. I need to look closer. My eyesight's going. Risha said, I love curry too. I cook apple and chia curry.
Chickpea maybe?
And chickpea curry. Oh, wow. Apple and chickpea. Never had that. Charlie said, oh, I'm on holiday park in Caton Bay in Scarborough. Nice. How is it? You having a good time? Tanika said, bagels are my weakness. I can eat them all day. Oh, Tanika, if you get a chance.
Your dad loves bagels.
Oh, he does. Yeah, if you get a chance, do try the Gail's one. Gail's Bakery, which we've just done a demo on. There we go. That's Gail's. They do a really good smoked salmon and cream cheese bagel. Yeah,
they did a couple of different ones. And I was going to get another one, but I was buying so much. I was laden with bags. But the time I got to Gail's, and Gail's wasn't even my last stop. My last stop was Golden Gate Bakery, actually, because I went to 2 other places. So I went to Creme, which we're not going to show because we've already done a video in Creme. And I bought some of these.
We can show the size of them though.
Yeah, if you want to.
Where are they?
They're where all the other stuff was.
All right.
So basically, I'll sit forward because he's going to bring some stuff there. So I went to Creme, which is a really good cookie shop in Soho. They only do 4 cookies. Now the 4 cookies that they do is the double choc, or is it triple choc? They do milk chocolate chip. They do, and the triple choc is a vegan one. Milk chocolate chip, miso and white chocolate, and banana and dark chocolate. And those are the 4 cookies that they do. I don't like banana. But when I went yesterday, they did a lemon and white chocolate. So I bought the miso and white chocolate. The miso and white chocolate is quite salty, but it's a really delicious taste. And then you have the milk chocolate again, which is a really good taste. But we've never tried the lemon. So yeah, we're gonna. Mark's just bringing the but the thing is, she goes, oh, do you want a bag? And I said yes, and this is the bag that she gave me. And normally they have a creme bag.
No,
but
so creme is CREME. And honestly, I've got to say, these, if you do get a chance, if you're ever in Covent Garden, do go for creme. There you are, creme on the front there. So that's the little card they give you.
this in Soho, not Covent Garden.
Now, oh, this is in the Soho one.
Soho, yeah. There's only one branch, I think.
Now, this is very, very true. They give you a little card and to show how to get back to the gooey best. They are much better warm.
Yes,
if you get
much
a chance,
better.
do. There is the flavours that they do.
I can smell them.
So you can just have a look at it there. But the thing is as well, you do Google them if you get a chance. I'll tell you what, you can just see them in their glory. These creme cookies are ginormous. They are really, really thick, and they're designed to be that thick.
I'm going to handle it. I'm not going to allow you to handle it.
I'll do the other one.
No.
Oh, is it?
We only need to show them one, which I think this might be the lemon one.
So,
can't smell it though, but
look at this. Look at the size of that. That is a cookie. It is really, really thick. And inside there as well, when you put it back in the oven, you break that apart, the entire middle melts.
Yeah.
Have you got 2, or is it just 1?
Why you want me to show all 3?
Oh, you got more.
You want me to show all 3?
Oh, yeah,
is the
go
question.
On. Yeah. We can show everybody.
Okay, so that's 1. Okay, and this is the white chocolate and miso. No, this is the lemon. So you can smell it, yeah. So the other one I just showed you was the white chocolate and miso. This is the white chocolate and lemon, and it does. You can smell the lemon.
Can you see you can see all those white chocolate bits in it?
Yeah.
All those little white bits. Can I show them?
Yeah,
and also as well, you can see there's actually dark chocolate chunks in there as well.
No. Oh yeah, there is.
See? Rich said the cookies look great. I ordered was it skunk Meyer cookies with my Uber pizza. Tanika said they look lovely. Tanika, we do recommend these though. If you are in Soho at any point, honestly, these are such good cookies. And also you must eat them when they've just come out of the oven.
Yeah.
The difference is
night and day.
Yeah, it really is. There we go. Which one's this?
This is just the normal milk chocolate chip.
There you go. And as I said, they are very, very thick. How much are they? I'll give them a try.
It was £12 for 3. So it came to £12 for 3 of them. So
okay. So it is expensive, £4 a cookie.
Yeah.
But I think you're partly paying because it's in Soho, and also as well, they are quite big.
Okay, so here's the little card, and it tells you what they are. But the lemon one is a new one that it must be seasonal.
Yeah. Because
these are the 4 cookies that they do.
And if you're interested, if you visit on the back, they do serve drinks with them as well while you're there.
Oh yeah, and they do cookie and ice cream as well. So warm cookies and ice cream. So if you want, well, there's the soft serve there. So yeah, creme classic served with cookie crumble, £4.50. Affogato, which is when the coffee's poured on top, £5. So
Richard
there
said
you
the chocolate chips in them are huge. Good price for the quality.
Yeah, they are really good.
They are good. I mean, they are pricey, like I say, but you are partly paying for the location where they're made and also for the big size of them.
I feel like anywhere in Soho and pretty much anywhere in London, it can be expensive. Like when to get the cacaccia, I think that was something like £5 or £5.50, and it's not a huge wedge. It's just and I think that um you have to pick and choose what it is that you wanna try and that you wanna get, especially if you're on a budget. Like I had a rough idea of how much that I was going to spend roughly, and I didn't really want to go over that. But then when you see the other things and you think, oh, actually, I'd like to try that actually, because there's so many good looking cakes, and it's very rare that when you taste good looking cakes, they actually taste good.
Yeah,
So-
that can happen as well.
So when I see good looking cakes and I think, oh my God, they are going to taste good, I will then purchase them. But I've got to say, pretty much everything that I've had from Chestnut and Arome, I've liked pretty much. If there is one thing I don't like, it would be that odd one thing. And that's normally because I don't like an ingredient, and the ingredient normally is feta or something like
Oh, sorry. Tanika said, Mark, what's your favourite meal that Kelly has made for you, and vice versa?
Ooh.
So my favourite meal that Kelly has made for me, I'm gonna say Kelly makes a very, very, very good fish curry. Very good fish curry. So I think she has it in there as well. She'll put cinnamon sticks in there as well. And in there will be prawns, salmon. There will be
it's prawns, salmon, cod.
Cod, that's the other fish.
And then recently I put in crab meat as well.
It's really good. That's my favourite dish. I'll let Madam tell you what her favourite dish is that I cook.
Oh my goodness.
Kelly doesn't like my cooking.
You don't. First of all, you don't cook very often, and when you do, it's mainly eggs. But I do like your kedgeree.
Yeah.
When you do your kedgeree.
I was going to say, I was hoping you would say that. So
kedgeree.
I've got to be honest, Tanika, my only decent food I do actually cook is probably my kedgeree. I do a kedgeree.
But he does make me good bacon toast, like good fried breakfast.
Oh, I do that as well.
Like good bacon, sausages, all of that type of stuff. Considering he's vegetarian.
Fish curry sounds nice, and a good scrambled egg is a skill, to be fair. Richard said, I cook chicken curry with apple, cinnamon, and yogurt.
Yeah, you were saying apples.
Do you know what? I love
that's
the sound
interesting.
Of that. Fruit. Do you know what though? I do really, although I don't eat meat, I do love the idea of fruit actually in a curry. I do that, especially apples. I love raisins in a curry. I don't know why. I know it's not traditional.
Not so much raisins in a curry, but I like my, like Peshwari naan.
Yeah.
So I like things like that.
Nice.
And I do, and there is a couscous that we buy from M&S. Like if we're just gonna have like something in the garden, something like we're gonna do salads or whatever, I do get that couscous. It's called fruity couscous, and that is really nice. That's got sultanas in it.
So over to you guys. Is there a dish that somebody makes for you that you love? It doesn't have to be a partner. Could be a friend. Could be a relative. But is there a dish that they make for you that you absolutely love? My mum always makes amazing meringues. That's what I love when my mum will make those for me. But I've got to say, is there a dish, and vice versa, is there a dish that somebody loves to make for you? Or that makes for you, I should say.
Favorite dish from my mum, and it's actually British, is a roast. I love it when she does roast. I really enjoy her roasts. The other thing that I like, when my granddad was alive. No, it's okay because that's now fallen. I'll put it in the Gail's bag.
Okay,
If you pop that in. The thing that I used to like that my granddad makes, which I've learnt to make, is gâteau brésil, which is like a fried aubergine. And I've actually got a couple of aubergines specifically for that purpose. And because I went out on Thursday and because my intention was to cook it on Thursday, and I didn't get a chance because I went out. And then I was going to cook it today, but again I went out this morning because I went to drop my car off for MOT, of which they didn't call me back today. Oh, we can't, can we keep hold of your car? Luckily I don't drive it that much, so it's fine for them to keep it. um but I popped into M&S, and they do this seafood platter which I know Mark loves. And so I called and I said, should I get this for lunch? So I didn't do the gâteau braise, we had the seafood lunch. So it might be tomorrow, because I don't think we're going out tomorrow. So tomorrow may be the day that I will do gâteau braise. And gâteau braise is like a eggplant for people in the US, and aubergine for people in the UK. And you slice it very thin, not very thin, but thin enough. And then you do a batter from chickpea flour. So you add your salt or your garlic or however you're going to flavor your flour. And then you make a batter and you dip that in, and then you fry it, and that is what. But you cut it thin enough so that the aubergine is going to actually cook, because otherwise the aubergine will still be hard. So you must be careful how you slice it, so it can't be too thick.
Do you have to dry the aubergine so it sticks to the batter?
No, I mean the aubergine, when you slice the aubergine isn't wet anyway.
Okay, sometimes you've got to dry these things to.
Yeah, no, the batter will stick to it gets very, your hands get very messy, by the way. And obviously you have to heat the oil to the correct temperature. So normally people will put a wooden spoon in, and once the bubbles collect around the wooden spoon, then you know that the oil is ready to fry your aubergine. But you have to put like about that much of oil in, because you're frying it, you're sort of shallow frying it, but you can't shallow fry it in little oil. You must put in a good amount of oil. You can use vegetable oil or sunflower oil. That's one thing I didn't check to see if you've got vegetable oil or sunflower oil.
Well, we'll have to get that. So we got two offers to the question. Richard said, my mother-in-law's basil and chicken with rice.
Oh wow!
So I was going to say, even though I'm not a meat eater, I was going to say anything with basil and rice does sound really, really nice. Tanika says, I don't get cooked for very often, but my partner made a wonderful salmon pasta dish for me this year with saffron. Oh, saffron. Very, very nice.
Do you know what? Sometimes for me, saffron can be a bit hit and miss. There is a saffron, because I like to do saffron rice. And there was a saffron that I used, and I just didn't like that saffron. It was so pungent, I didn't like it. But then there was another saffron that I used, and it was actually flavored it quite nicely. So
Richard said, I'm cooking pasta with squash, zucchini, and garlic tonight. I use Senko Italian tin tomatoes. Okay.
Are you vegetarian?
No.
Oh no, of course he had chicken.
It's good chicken.
Yeah. Yeah. Going on to fruit, actually, in food. There is a place that called the Sports Bar in the UK. It's just called Sports Bar. They just play sports. And they do a salad, and it's a salad with grapes, chorizo, and chicken, like southern fried chicken, and I really, really enjoy it. I always ask for it though without tomatoes and cucumber.
Richard said, I'm trying to become a veggie. Mark, inspire me. Right, okay.
Oh wow.
So do you know what the good thing is with vegetarianism? You can mimic practically any meat dish. You just substitute. So if you're doing curry, just use lots of different vegetables as the meat substitute, and it does make it, sometimes it makes it more interesting, because you've got so much more variety. So rather than say just chicken, you're substituting with carrots, broccoli, chickpeas. I put peas in as well. I know this isn't an authentic recipe, but I don't care, and it's really good. Same with lasagna. You'll have lots of, but if you finely chop the vegetables and add that in too. Same with even spaghetti bolognese. Rather than meat, I will then chop up vegetables very, very finely, so small little chunks of it as well, and you add that in as well. So you get the texture of like you would the bolognese, but you get loads of different flavors because you get loads of different vegetables in there. So you'll get things like peas in there, tiny chunks of carrot, celery if you want to add that in. Like I say, chunks of broccoli in there. You can put squash in there, tiny tomatoes in there. So it gives it that type of flavor.
See, for me, I would need something like corn in there, like corn mince or something.
Yeah, you can use corn meal. The only thing
Yeah.
with corn is it's very bland.
Yeah.
That's why I don't tend to use it as much.
But I feel like when you use the corn mince, it soaks up the flavors. So I feel, yeah, on its own, I agree. Corn can be very bland. But when you're cooking it in, like, if you're going to do a bolognese, which I don't do a bolognese at all, really. So if you're going to do a bolognese, then yeah, I think that when you use the corn mince, it soaks up the flavors of that.
Richard said, I cook meat for my wife, the pasta. I'm going to sub the ground beef for zucchini and squash. That would be nice. You could also add in, if you chop carrots up really, really finely into tiny little cubes, that as well gives it another dimension and another different taste, which is really, really nice. I'm trying to think what else you could do as well.
See, I love onions.
Yeah, onions as well.
I really, really
but
love
you would
onions.
get that anyway. You would add onions in.
Yeah,
if you
I love onions, and I like spring onions. I think you call it salad onions over there, maybe. But I love spring onions.
One thing I was going to say, one thing I would also recommend is for try the carrot. Give this a go. This is going to sound weird, but with a burger, if you ever make a burger, if you use portobello mushrooms, add halloumi cheese. So if you get your halloumi, slice it up, fry your halloumi. Now add a very mild honey to that. Now I know this is going to sound weird, but if you watched our Rochester video, we went to what was voted the best place in Rochester to eat.
Chuck and Blade.
Chuck and Blade. And I had what they called the honey monster, which was actually halloumi cheese with honey on it. And I thought honey's a very strong taste. So I thought, I'm not sure about this, but it was absolutely amazing. I've never had halloumi and honey as well. So if you have a portobello mushroom, which acts as your replacement for your burger, you could have a couple actually just to pad it out. Put halloumi on top of that and the honey. Try that. You will not be disappointed.
I love portobello mushrooms. I enjoy halloumi as well. Yeah, I can't imagine myself ever become. Do you know what? I come from a Mauritian household, and I don't think any member of our family is vegetarian.
Do you know what?
I don't think they are.
I don't miss meat at all.
Yeah.
There is more. And do you know what? I became veggie in 2002. So it was a lot less choice then.
Yeah.
It was a lot less choice. If I went to a restaurant, you looked at the vegetarian option, it was always two things.
Burger.
Vegetarian burger, and the burger was awful. It was always a shop brought one. You could tell was frozen. They just bunged in the oven. Or quiche or vegetarian tart, which I don't like. I don't like it, not because I don't like it. It's just I'm sick to death of it, because that's all I can order. And those are the only two things you could really order here in the UK at the time. I'm talking about 20 odd years ago. But now it's so much better. There's so much more choice.
But even when you even France and Brussels,
or Europe,
you hardly get anything vegetarian these days.
The rest of Europe it's got better, but
it has got better.
Difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult. But I think you did find it you find it easier when there's a buffet.
Yeah, buffets are easy because you've got more choice. There will be bound to be something. Actually, what is a lot easier is Chinese food. I know the trouble is they cook it all in the same wok, but there's a lot of and also Indian food. I
think the higher grade restaurants wouldn't do that.
Richard said, we'll try it. Mushroom burger with honey. I make a drizzle for my ice cream made out of pomegranate, lemon, honey, and cinnamon. I love honey. Oh, wow.
I love honey.
That sounds really nice. So pomegranate. Is it pomegranate juice you're using? Because sometimes you can get a pomegranate concentrate, or do you actually use the pomegranate seeds themselves? Yeah. Lemon, honey, and cinnamon.
My only thing with pomegranate, and I don't know who I was discussing this with the other day. Oh, I was discussing it with my bestie Eve. The thing about pomegranates and it's the same thing with passion fruit. I don't like the seeds. I like the flavour of the passion fruit, and I like the flavour of the pomegranate, but I don't like the seeds.
Oh, the juice from the fresh fruit. Oh, I love the seeds because what you do, I
Yeah.
mean, the worst thing is the pomegranate. If you get that, the pith inside is so bitter. All you're supposed to do is get it and knock it with a spoon, and all the seeds drop out.
Yeah, yeah, or you can spoon them out, which is fine, but it's you still got seeds inside
Oh
the.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
lovely.
I don't like it.
No,
I don't. Do you know what it is? I don't like the
just buy
texture of it.
just buy pomegranate juice.
Yeah, that's what
You can
I
just
will
buy
do.
that. Just
Pomegranate juice. Yeah, and the same with But I wonder if it will work in a juicer.
I suppose it would do. Oh, I was going to ask you. So, do you put balsamic vinegar on there, Richard, as well? And Tanika, have you got any tips for us in terms of what? I know you're not a veggie, but I just wonder if you had any little cooking tips you have that you would be prepared to share.
Do you know, I really love, bread when you dip it in
Oh, olive
oil
oil and
and
balsamic vinegar.
balsamic
That's
vinegar.
so good. Especially if there's salt. If you add do salt with that as well, that is delicious.
Now there is they do. I never knew this, but I walked into Oil and Vinegar. There's a shop called Oil and Vinegar, and
Uh,
they closed down a lot of them.
They're in the US, aren't they? One of vinegar. Or is it just Europe?
I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. Yeah, carry on.
But they have a shop called Oil and Vinegar, and I was
me
in Brussels once, and in Europe they still have them in the towns and stuff, but in the UK I think there's only one place. It might be Scotland, I think, which might be the head office. I'm not sure. And I walked into the one in Brussels, and I said, "Oh, do you do the special um what you call it, balsamic vinegar?" And because years ago they used to do a special balsamic vinegar, which was one that they made, which was really good. It was the best balsamic vinegar I think I've ever tasted. And I've bought a few balsamic vinegars and they've not tasted very nice. And I remember asking my Italian friend, he goes, "Oh, I can't recommend one, but any that come from Modena." And I thought, but yeah, but they all come from Modena. So that's where they make them. But there are specific places that you go. But I tell you, this balsamic vinegar from the oil and vinegar store was really delicious. So anyway, I walked into Brussels and I said, "Oh, to the one in Brussels near Grand Place it was," and I said, "Oh, do you do the special balsamic vinegar?" And they said, "No, but we do a white balsamic vinegar." Oh my god, the white balsamic vinegar is so good. It's the best vinegar I think I've ever tasted. Is the white balsamic vinegar. Like in general, the best vinegar in general that I've ever tasted. But the best balsamic vinegar, like if you're talking about the traditional dark vinegar, is the special balsamic vinegar from Oil and Vinegar. Both brands are from Oil and Vinegar, by the way, and the best vinegars I think I've ever tasted.
So yes, there are oil vinegar stores in the US. I've just googled here now.
Oh,
Yeah, and there you go. Look, but
where are they?
well, all over, but they are a bit all over. I don't think they've got any in Chicago's there. So
But he can get it shipped.
yeah, you can get
Like
it.
if you decide that because obviously because they've got them in the States all over, you can order them online, I assume. But I highly recommend the white balsamic vinegar and the special balsamic vinegar, which they might call house balsamic vinegar or balsamic vinegar of the house, maybe.
So
Those are the two ones that
there's
I recommend.
Indianapolis and Pennsylvania, Houston, Charlotte, and also in the Washington State.
Wow.
There's 3 in Washington State, believe it or not. There's one in Los Angeles, one in Las Vegas.
There's one in Las
Yeah, there's
Vegas.
one in Vegas. Yeah.
Wow.
There you are.
Wow, 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 wow.
So little hint from us there, Richard. If you want to take a look, oil and vinegar stores. That's what they're called.
And the best vinegars I think I've ever tasted, I've got to be honest. And I you also like when I do poisson vindai.
Yeah, that's all right. So you want to explain what Passon Vindai is?
So basically, in if you're ever in Mauritius, if you ever go, there are really good street foods that disappear. One, if you put it on the table, it disappears. One is poisson vindai. The other one is what is it that we had? Dal puri.
Mm.
Dal puri is really, yeah, it's one of the ones. You also get things like gato pima, which you like. I'm not really a lover of, and you get gato blazer. So we call them gajaks. and what they are their snacks, street food and things like that. So I make only one that I really make is gâteau brésil, but I would love to make samosas, but I think that's just it would be too much. I don't think I have the patience and the want to really make samosas, to be fair. um and yeah, they are. So with the poisson vindai, it's basically you get French bread, so French stick or whatever, and inside you will find like fish with onions and sesame seeds and things like that, mustard seeds. And what you do, you pickle the onions, so you soak them in vinegar for however long, and you fry. Normally, traditionally, it's tuna, but you can pretty much almost use any fish. But it must be like a durable, like a bit of a meaty fish. Like you could use, dare I say it, monkfish.
Basically, one that doesn't fall apart when
Yeah.
frying.
So like if you were to fry cod, sometimes that just it's too flaky, just falls apart. So you want a fish that is a little bit meaty. So dare I say monkfish, maybe. I've never tried it with monkfish, but one day maybe I will try it with monkfish. So and then you would fry it, and then you will fry it with certain spices and like mustards and seasoning and all that, and then you will have that in your baguette, in a warm baguette. And if you ever put, everybody loves this. And then gâteau brésil, which I mentioned earlier, which was with the eggplant, and you chop that up. Or what's the other one? Gato pima. And your friend made the best gato pima that I think I've ever tasted. And I don't like gato pima at all, but you love gato pima.
Yeah, it is absolutely amazing. I've got to say, so you've got two comments. Richard said, sounds exotic. What's the beaches like in Mauritius? From my perspective, when we went there, it's the only place I've ever been to where it's like walking in a picture postcard. This is a picture of Mauritius Beach. And that's not photoshopped or anything. It is like that. It's absolutely amazing. The water is blue like sapphire. It's crystal clear as well. It's absolutely amazing. It's so beautiful. We would recommend you go if you can get there one time. It's a once in a lifetime thing, really, but it's such a good place to go.
The Mauritian people will tell you, all Mauritian people will tell you, that the best beaches are in the north. And even my relatives will tell you the best beaches are in the north. However, being from the UK, or being born in the UK and then going as an adult, for me, the best beaches for me are southwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm doing my northeast. is southwest.
Tanika said, "Oh, I love pickled onions and pickled jalapenos. Oh, I've never tried pickled jalapenos, but I love pickled onions.
No.
There's something about that sharpness. And if you have it with something like cheese, that's delicious." Tanika said, "Have you ever been to Thailand? Do you know that's one place I really want to go? Your sister's been."
My sister's been, and my aunt has been, and my aunt's been a couple of times, and she really enjoyed it.
I'm picking on this thing.
And yeah, all the prices there are really reasonable and everything else. So once you get there and stuff, but yeah, she goes, "Oh yeah, I have my massage every day," and all of this. So yeah, she really enjoyed it. My mum would like to go. I've got to say, it's not a place that is on my list, but it's on your list.
It's definitely on my. Have you been, Tanika? And if so, would you recommend it?
And if where would you recommend?
Yeah, I was going to say that was going to be my next question. Yeah. Whereabouts would you go? Oh no, Tanika said she'd love to go, but hasn't been. No, it is. I mean, the Mauritius is one I would recommend. It is pricey though. That's the only thing to get to. Yeah. And it's a 13-hour flight from the UK, but it is a very beautiful place.
And it depends on what you consider pricey. We went for 18 nights, and we paid, I think we paid about £2,000 each.
Yeah.
Maybe. So we paid about £2,000 each, and we stayed in a 4 or 5 star hotel. I think we stayed in a 4-star hotel. So we stayed. So when we went the second time, so that was in 2016, we paid just over £2,000. I'm thinking, what is he going to have a bit more of?
A little bit of something I fancy, guys. Actually, in fact, you haven't seen this, so I will show you. So this is what we had in Gail's. I'm going to try this again a bit more. This was the what was this again?
This is the crumble pecan.
Crumble pecan. So it's
Or
basically
pecan crumble.
think pancake with a crumble topping.
Yeah. And so yeah, we went for 18 nights. We paid just over £2,000. That was including our flights, hotel, breakfast and dinner. So flights, hotel, breakfast and dinner. So it didn't include drinks, but with our room, we did get water every day. So every day we did get water in our room, and yeah, I think we got water every day. That was breakfast and dinner. Because obviously it's so hot, you don't really eat lunch. We had massages almost every other day.
And I was going to say, once you're out there, your money does go really far.
Yeah.
Richard said, I make jalapenos with tortilla chips and cheese dip. That sounds amazing.
Is it like what you call it? Cheesy nachos?
Well, it sounds like it.
Yeah, it sounds like cheesy.
He said it looks.
nachos.
Oh yeah, by the way, it looks like paradise there. It is. It's the closest thing I've ever seen to paradise.
Yeah, I've never experienced anything like. I mean, I used to go as a kid, right? We used to go all the time because obviously we went to visit relatives and we stayed at relatives' houses and stuff like that.
Yes, Richard said it was. Yeah.
And we went to the beach and everything else. But to me, being young, it could have been Brighton Beach, and it was just a beach to me.
Oh wow! So sorry, Tanika said, I think that's a really good deal. I'm paying £750 so far for flights and hotel in Greece. That's before food.
Wow.
Not inclusive of food. And Richard said, American package tours are way more expensive than British offers.
Wow.
Yeah, go on. You were saying sorry about that.
Do you know what? When I really research when I do holidays, I try to find. But do you know what? There are other people. They find flights for like £30, £50, and all of these.
Well, you know what that is. I'll tell you what. So I have a friend of mine at work. He's left now, but what he does, him and his friends, all together, they'll book a period of time off work.
Right.
And what they do is they'll go on a website and they will sort the flight. They just book the flights, and they sort the flight by price, which you can do.
Yeah.
And what they do is they all agree to take time off. Now you've got to be flexible with this for it to work, and just be able to book when it's available. But he books flights to Poland, Croatia. They pay anything between £18 and £28. That's right, £18 and £28 just for the flights. Okay, that's not the hotel or anything else. That's the flight and that's return. But they said if you can sort it by price, you've got to be able to go a moment's notice.
Yeah. So last minute bookings.
Yeah, so you'll book it and you'll take it, and then he'll just go and they'll get the hotel when they're then. So they book the time off work and then they go. But they go for such cheap. It's cheaper than going by train anywhere in the UK.
Wow.
Tanika said, I'm normally good with cheap flights, but this time around they were sky high. I use Skyscanner and I booked the last minute week, so maybe that's why too. Richard said $35 flights are as real as Bigfoot over here. Bait and switch. Oh, that's interesting. No, because in the UK you can get that, but like I say, the caveat is I don't think you can take much luggage with you for that lower price.
Yeah, that's before luggage and things like that, most definitely.
And also as well, that's flight only. So obviously you get the absolute bare bones. No in-flight food, no in-flight entertainment. You are going the cheapest seats. You're all crammed up like this. But for a short haul flight,
you don't need food on a short haul flight. And you would get stuff at the airport anyway. But Tanika's right. I mean, I'll check Skyscanner. I was on Skyscanner today, and Skyscanner are quite good because you can check by month. And then when you check by month, you can see. But sometimes when you click on the date that you want to go, it changes the price of when you want to come back and things like that. So it can be tricky. But yeah, I'm trying to look for a deal at the moment. But yeah, I reckon it's probably going to cost about 700. I reckon that's realistic.
Tanika said so. I also heard a tip that some people do. Say you want to fly to Italy, some will book a flight that's going somewhere else with a stopover, layover in Italy. Then they never catch the connecting flight. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So basically, you say you're going to go on to. So say you want to go to Italy, you get a flight, say to, I don't know, just for argument's sake, Croatia. But it's connecting to Italy, so you stop off at Italy and you never go on to Croatia. You just basically stop there. Oh, sounds like Southwest Airlines. No food, no service. Did we take Southwest? I don't think we've ever taken Southwest.
No, we've never taken. Sorry, we've never taken South, but we did take
We've done Delta.
we did United Airlines.
Yeah.
And I've never had a problem before with United Airlines, but to be fair, there was one where I had a problem twice with United Airlines. But prior to that, I'd flown United Airlines quite a lot of times. But then I had a thing. So once we they delayed our flight, so we missed our connecting flight.
Yeah, that was right.
And the reason why I had paid for and booked that flight was so we could get to Florida early. And then we ended up missing our connecting flight. So then we got there late. But by that point, I might as well have booked the cheaper ticket, and we would have arrived when we were supposed to arrive. The second time was I had upgraded our short flight, and it was about £200 or something like that, because this one's got long legs. So we upgraded the flight.
Oh yeah, this.
And it wasn't even worth it. It was no.
I got exactly the same seat for paying £200 extra. I looked at the guy to the next behind me, who was basically the same economy class. So we had was it premium economy? Just so
premium economy.
And his legroom was exactly the same as mine.
It was really annoying to have upgraded those seats. And so that were the two things that happened when I took United Airlines. But other than that, it's always been quite good. That was the time on the way back I bumped into, what's his name?
Oh, the rapper. Yeah, what was his name? Who was it?
I never knew that. No, because I want to call him Fat Boy, and it's not Fat Boy.
No. Richard said United dragged that doctor off the flight. That's right, and beat him up for not giving up a seat. That's right, they did drag him out. You'll stick with American Airlines. So have you got any Fat Boy Scoop? Is it
Fat Man Scoop? Yeah, Fat Man Scoop.
So have you got any tips that you share about getting cheap flights that you know of?
No, I would use yes and no. I would use Skyscanner and Kayak. And what I do is normally I don't always get the deal on flights. I mainly get the deal on hotels.
Right.
And if you do a stopover, so basically if you want the flight to be, so if you're doing a long haul and you want your flight to be cheaper, then you have to do the stop off.
Yeah.
So when we went to Mauritius in 2016, we had to do a stop off. And if we didn't do the stop off, it was going to be something like an extra almost £1,000 extra if we didn't do the stop off. So on the stop off on the way back, we had to spend 8 hours in Istanbul airport. So we had to be there for 8 hours, but we got to stay in Mauritius for 18 nights.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too bothered about spending 8 hours in an airport. And Istanbul airport is quite a big airport. So you can go all around. My mum and Evelyn, they sort of like slept on the seats because they were very tired. But that was the only thing to get. So like I said, we paid, it was something like £2,000. We had 18 nights. And in Mauritius, so we went in December and we stayed there for Christmas and New Year. And if you know anything about that side of the world, very much like Australia, the December is their hottest time of the year. So while it would be cold here, it's very hot there. And so we spent Christmas Day on the beach. And we spent New Year's Day on the beach as well. And and what is nice about, a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to be away for Christmas and New Year and stuff like that. And I understand it, I get it. But imagine waking up on Christmas Day, you don't have to cook, you don't have to clean.
And it's hot.
It's hot. You come out from your room, you spend the day on the beach, you come back, you get showered, you get dressed up for dinner, and there's a big banquet there, and then there's a party afterwards, and you didn't have to do anything. In fact, what you did do, you had a massage. You spent your time on the beach, and then you went and you had a massage. That was what, and we did that on Christmas Day, and we did that on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and that's how we spent our time. Do you know what I mean?
So Tanika said, I missed 2 flights in a row once coming home from Amsterdam. Fell asleep in my hotel and it had a room jacuzzi. Then missed the second one in the airport. It was an expensive plane.
I bet it was.
Two flights in a row.
You should have gone. You should have taken the train.
Do you know what we did miss our Eurostar. Do you remember? We just completely mistimed everything.
Did we?
Yeah. You thought it was at 1 o'clock and it was at 2 o'clock. No, you thought it was at 2 o'clock and it was actually at 1 o'clock. So we turned up.
Oh no, that wasn't for Amsterdam. That was for Paris, I think, or Brussels.
Brussels.
What? It was one of the two. Yeah.
So we turned up late or relaxed, and they said you missed it.
Yeah, but he put us on one. We didn't have to pay.
No, he was really nice.
He was really nice.
He just changed the tickets and said, "Why are you so late?" And I said, "Oh, sorry."
But there was one time, right? We were going to, was it Brussels? We were either going to Brussels or Paris. I can't remember. And what I did, so I took a half day at work, and you took a half day at work.
Yes, that was.
And we went,
I remember this.
And I got there, and I was like, "Oh my God, I haven't got my passport." And I said to Mark, "Do you have my passport?" And he looked at me. He's like, "No." I was like, "Oh my God." So, and this has only ever happened to me twice before that I've actually forgotten my passport.
Only twice.
Listen, in this amount of years, it's not too bad. In the amount of times that I travel and things, twice is not too bad.
I've never. Anyway, Karen.
You've never, but you've not really traveled as much as I have. So, so what happened was, Mark said, "Right, I'll run home and get it." I then went and changed our tickets to the last train that was going. It was to Paris, I think it was. So I went and changed our ticket to the last train that was going. So I had to pay £180 or whatever it was. And I just paid it. I thought, oh my God. Mark ran home. He jumped on the train. I got my mum to pick him up from home and drive him to another station, because if he had gone to that station, we would have missed our train.
Yeah.
So I got her to drive him to another station, and from that other station, he was able to catch an earlier train to get back in time. I had to queue up in the meantime and wait for him.
I had to run.
He ran.
I had to run all the way there, get the passport. I had to run all the way to the station. I was dripping in sweat. I had to sit on the train, and I was just saying, "Come on." As soon as that train pulled in, I was there. As soon as the doors opened, I had to run all the way down, run down to the Eurostar, run to find you.
I was already in the queue by this point, and
then joined you. I was like,
it was crazy.
Well, hang on, Rich has asked us a question. What's the longest flight you have ever done? Mine is 8.5 hours to the UK. 13 hours to Mauritius.
Yeah.
And it was a horrible flight. So you fly down the Horn of Africa, which is notorious for having cross winds. So the flight is doing this turbulence all the way for 13 hours solid. It was horrible.
I don't think it was for 13 hours solid.
My longest flight was to Barbados, says Tanika, which was 8 hours and 50 minutes, and nearly 9 hours.
You know, like when I do 8 and 9 hour flights, I look at that as a shift at work.
Yeah, but it's not pleasant.
For me, it's not a problem. So I will, as long as I've downloaded some films, because sometimes you don't always want to watch what the airplane has. And sometimes Mark and I will download the same film, and then we'll start it at the same time so we can watch the film together.
Yeah.
So whatever it is that we've downloaded on our tablets. But there was one time, and there wasn't. I think the in-flight wasn't working or whatever, and Mark had downloaded John Wick. How many times did you watch?
I watched it 3 times in a row, I think. I just thought I liked the film, and I just couldn't. It was the only film that had downloaded properly on my tablet. The others two I went to watch them, and it said, corruption didn't work. I thought, so I've only got John Wick, so I watched it 3 times. Richard said, my legs get seized up. Yeah, mine gets seized up I've got long legs. I'm 6'2".
Yeah.
So in a flight, it's horrible. When you're tall, people don't realise how badly it affects you.
It's pretty good though. I do get us extra legroom seats.
Richard said, Kelly sounds like the problem. Travel companion holding everybody else up. Yeah, forget it. Making me run. I'm the one who's got to do the running.
Do you know what? One time I did actually hold everyone up, but so what happened was, right, me and my friend, we were going to Lanzarote actually, and we went to Starbucks and all this, and I took we have our little luggage that we drag with us, and I popped it down, and I took my coat off because it was hot, and I put my coat down anyway. So we got our drinks. I picked up my coat and we started walking because they called our plane. We started walking. I heard a man dragging something behind him, right? And then my friend looked at me. She goes, "Didn't you have a case?" I was like, "Oh my god, I've left it in Starbucks." I ran back to Starbucks, and I had just given up British military fitness, right? So I had given it up for about 2 months, I think. And so so my muscle memory kicked in, luckily for me, but I was still out of breath. So I ran back to Starbucks. Oh yeah, we took it to security. I went to security. Security had to ask me a bunch of questions. They let me take my bag. I ran back and I had held up the whole plane, but I'd only held them up for about 10-15 minutes because it takes about half an hour to board. So luckily we didn't miss our slot to take off. But everyone was looking at me like this. I was like, "Oh my god!"
I wasn't on that flight, so I was okay. But I would have been fuming because I would have had to done the run-in.
No, you wouldn't, because they wouldn't have given you the case. I would have had to go.
Richard said, Tanika said, I had the worst turbulence going from Paris to Amsterdam first.
Wow.
Do you know what? Loads of people have said that to me that have flown
yeah.
to Amsterdam, that the turbulence is terrible. I don't know why, because it's such a short flight. The first time I've ever been genuinely scared in the sky.
Oh wow!
I'll tell you a story actually in a minute, but I just got the Richard stop because I don't ever want to travel with Kelly, says Richard. You can love her to bits, but I don't want to travel with her.
It's listen, I've only caused problems 3 times, just 3.
Just the 3.
In all my years of traveling.
3 more times than me.
Twice I forgot my passport, and once I left my suitcase. But other than that, I promise you, I am the most organized person.
She is normally, to be fair.
I am very, very organized. I book everything. All people have to bring is their suitcase and their passport.
Now, one thing I will go on to Tanika's thing, actually. So the worst flight I ever had, and I think it's the same as yours, Kelly and I went to Las Vegas. I think it was the 2nd or 3rd time we went. And we flew from Chicago, funny enough. So we went from the UK to Chicago. The flight was all fine. Then we had to get a connecting flight from Chicago to Las Vegas. So we got on board. It was a really rickety takeoff. The whole plane was shaking violently. We were in the tail, and we were doing like this.
I never remember these things.
No, because I hate flying, so I remember these very, very vividly.
I never really remember them.
And we were going like this. I thought that's so weird. I put it down to just being in the tail because I'd never been in the tail before on takeoff. But I thought that was rough. Anyway, that landing was really bad. So as we were approaching Las Vegas, so as you probably know, Las Vegas is obviously, it's right in the middle of the desert, but also as well, it's surrounded by all these sort of hills and mountains. But of course, what was happening is, so if you imagine my plate is the plane, so normally the plane will come in like gradually like that and sort of descend slowly and then land. What was happening with us is the plane was doing this, it would do that and then drop like that, and then go a bit more and then drop again. And we would plummet like that, and people were screaming. There was a girl in the back, she was screaming each time. I thought we were going to fall out the sky. It would just drop suddenly and then just sort of bounce a bit and then drop again. And then the whole thing, as we were coming into land, the whole plane was moving sideways and left. And I just thought, we're not going to make this. I really, so I do get what you're saying. It was really, and I
don't remember this at all.
Your memory's appalling. I said to you at the time, listen, hang on. I said to you at the time, is that you even said to me, you said that's the worst flight you had. You said that you actually said yourself that you were quite nervous now, and you never get nervous in a flight. That's what you said to me. Because I turned to you, the girl next to, so we were in a 3-way seat. So Kelly was on my left, like here is now, and there was another girl next to me. And she was like this for the entire flight. I looked over to her, she was like this, and she was like going, oh, every time.
Was that the flight where something had happened and she was sitting next to us because something had happened? Because we paid for upgraded seats.
No, that was a different flight. Richard said, I flew on City Hopper Tab Pro from Cardiff to Amsterdam for a sales conference. It was loud and turbulent. Never will fly on a small plane again. Yeah, no, rickety planes. Funny enough, my parents went on a plane, a real rickety plane, to the Grand Canyon when they went to Vegas. And my dad was saying that as well. He just said it was like getting in a tiny little tub, and it was just, this whole thing was just shaking. That's the thing with small planes.
Yeah.
They are very rickety.
I can tell you the worst flight that I've ever been on, which wasn't that one, but
you said it was.
The worst flight I've ever been on I went to Canada many years ago. That would have been early 2000 actually, and I went on Air Transat. It was a company called Air Transat, and I was going to Canada for 3 weeks. I was going to Toronto, and the flight was £300, and I was just like, "How is it so cheap? Like, how is it so
You're
cheap?"
about to find out.
And I got on it, and I've got to say, it was the most uncomfortable flight. I think it was, luckily it was direct as well, and the stewardesses, like normally with stewardesses, they got their hair tied up.
Mhm.
These stewardesses looked like they'd seen better days. The lipstick was all round here, it wasn't even on the lips, and all of this, and they didn't care about anything, and they yeah, it was just like it was the most uncomfortable. You couldn't sit down properly and all of this. Anyway, a friend of mine who I used to work with at the time, she was going she was also going to Canada, and we were going to cross over, but she was staying in the suburbs, whereas I was staying with my friend, and my friend stayed in the center. And so she was going to get the train in to meet me so we could cross over and spend a couple of days together, which we did. And it was just, she said the same thing. It was the because obviously we didn't fly together, we flew at different times. She said to me it was the worst flight she'd ever had. It was absolutely terrible. But in saying that, if I had to go to Canada, because this is what you have to weigh up at the end of the day. Forget about the safety of the plane, because obviously you always want safety in a plane, so you're not going to choose um, for a non-safe plane, but you want a safe plane. But what you also have to remember is you want money when you're on holiday. So wherever you can save money is where you will try to save money. Now, flights can be really, really expensive if you're not careful. Therefore, using things like Kayak and Skyscanner and all of those types of things, you want to try to get the best deal with a good air. And a lot of people always have complaints about Ryanair. I've never flown Ryanair, and
No, we haven't, have we? No.
no, and
No,
it
we
doesn't sound. Now Ryanair are very. At one point, they were selling £1 flights.
Yeah, they were.
Weren't they?
They try and tempt people back into doing it.
Right, but
They-
you had to pay to use the toilet.
Yeah, I was going to say they charge you to use the toilet.
It was crazy. That's just crazy. Imagine charging someone to go and use the
Oh,
toilet.
Richard said, "Oh, did you guys take the helicopter to the Grand Canyon from Las Vegas?"
I didn't do when I went with my friend. We didn't do the helicopter. We actually did the plane that flies over. Now there was several things. You could take the helicopter. You could take the plane that flew over, and you could take the coach. And the coach was an all-day affair. And I remember the guy saying, um, uh, to rather than do the flyover, either do the coach or do the helicopter. He said, because doing the plane, you're not gonna. But we saw. I thought the plane was okay. We saw quite a lot of stuff. I mean, we're tourists, so for us to go to the Grand Canyon anyway was really good. But the helicopter was so expensive, considering
Yeah.
considering there was a few people. I feel like they didn't need to charge so much
Well,
for the helicopter.
So put it in context. So Kelly and I went in 2006, and when we went to Vegas, we looked at the helicopter ride, and it was near $500 at the time. So again, we paid about £800 each to get to Vegas. So I thought $500 just to get the helicopter to and from was ridiculously expensive. God knows what it is now.
Oh yeah.
But it was very, very pricey. So at the time we just thought, oh no, this is not worth it.
I'm just trying to think. I think it was later than that we went.
No, I think it was 2006 we went, and then oh no, 16 maybe.
No, not it wasn't 16, because 16 we went to Mauritius. So I think
Maybe 2012. You're right. It was 2012.
Yeah, something like that.
2012.
2012. Yeah,
It was
2012. Yeah.
But yeah, it was the same. So I remember it being $500. I said to her, "This is a lot of money for
Yeah.
we're just going short." I know it's a once in a lifetime thing, but I just thought that's just too much money.
Yeah, I know it was very expensive. I can't remember how much it was when we went, but I know that when I was with my friend, and that was the year we had gone the year before. I think me and my friend had gone in 2011, and then you and I went.
Yeah.
Maybe 20. Yeah, it was definitely 2012 when we went. But I might have gone with my friend in
Oh,
2010 or
Rich has got to
2011.
go. Rich he said, take care, have a great weekend. I'll be eating at a famous Chicago seafood restaurant on Saturday.
Oh,
Well, you enjoy,
enjoy.
and please do let, if you're around on Sunday, we'll be back obviously on our Tuesday live and our Friday live. So if you can make either, we will love to hear how it went.
And what you ate.
Yes,
Ooh.
enjoy.
Seafood's your favourite.
I love seafood.
He loves
I've got to say,
seafood,
I
yeah.
really, really do enjoy seafood.
He really
So
does.
I am very, very jealous that you get to do that.
So take care. Bye. Have a great weekend and enjoy the seafood.
Yeah, so Vegas, but we do recommend Las Vegas. I know it's not for everybody, and for some people that have been there didn't like it, but it's one of my favorite holiday destinations, I have to say.
Do you know what? I think when people go to Vegas, I think they have a certain expectation.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people's expectation, like when I went with my friend, she thought, oh my God, Vegas is going to be so busy. We're going to be doing this. But Vegas is only busy if you've planned to go to clubs,
Yeah.
bars, and all of that type of stuff. And we hadn't really planned all of that. But when we go, because we're not really like bar and gamblers and all of that. We're not really that those types of people.
Well, that was it. Of course, I mean, it makes sense, but I've never seen day clubs. But Vegas is full of day clubs. You can club all the way through the day.
Yeah.
And then they turn into nightclubs at night.
And there's like pool parties
Yeah.
and things like that. So if you are into that, then you should go for a short period, because by the time it'd be too expensive. You if you're going to do your pool parties and you're going to do your clubs and then you're going to go drinking and then you're going to go gambling and all that, then yes, you should go for a short period, because there's going to be loads to do. When we go to Vegas, we do like different shows, Shark Reef and Secret Garden, and we go to the malls and we go and we do like different things. We did the gondola ride at what's it called, the Venetian. So we did the gondola ride at the Venetian. We did the inside gondola ride and the outside gondola ride. Both are good. But they advertised the inside one more than they advertised the outside one.
Yeah.
So we didn't even know they did an outside one. It's a great place if you want to go and watch artists who are resident there. So you can get the tickets relatively cheap. We went to see Boys to Men. I really wanted to go and see Britney, but with the time that I was going to see Britney came to the UK, which really annoyed me.
The irony of that.
I went to see Barry Manilow when I was there.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah. But they're all reasonably priced tickets. We went to see Cirque du Soleil, the one Michael Jackson, one that was pretty good. The other one that I went with my friend to see Car, which is KA, just Car, at MGM, at MGM hotel, but we went to see it on our second day of landing, and I was like this.
Do you know what? That's the whole thing. I will say that there was one concert I really want to go and see, which is the Stone Temple Pilots. But it was the day we landed. I was so jet lagged. I just couldn't do it. I thought if it had been any other day, I would have gone and done it.
Yeah, because I knew you liked it. It was the best concert you've ever been to.
Yeah, I didn't go to that one. I went to another Stone Temple Pilots one before. That was in the UK.
And so I wanted to get Mark tickets, but he said no, he wasn't going to go and watch it.
I was just too tired. It's the first time I'd ever been to Vegas. So I didn't know where I was going.
Yeah. And so, but yeah, I mean, Vegas really, it's got great places to eat. It's closed now, but we went to Serendipity. We went to Serendipity in New York as well.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So that was just outside Caesar's Palace.
Yeah. But I think they've opened up Hell's Kitchen there now.
Yeah, that's right. So Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
If you want to go.
And there's just so many restaurants and so many places to go to and so many places to experience and eat. Just walking around the hotels, like going in and out the shops and the boutiques and seeing all the amazing things that they've built in these hotels is crazy. And there's Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
And we've been to the Cheesecake Factory a few times there.
Well worth the recommendation. Now, guys, we've been going for 2 hours nearly. We're just coming up to.
Wow.
So I think we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined us. We had a really good live today. Really appreciate all your comments and everybody that's contributed today. And it's just simply for listening in. So that is it for Mark and Kelly's trips, tips and things for this week. But we will be back Tuesday, 6 p.m. as we normally do, UK time, where you can discuss anything you like, including any of the food or the videos that we will upload during the weekend. That's it from us. Have a fantastic weekend, whatever you do. Don't forget, you are never told to have fun. We will see you on Tuesday live, hopefully. Until then, take care, and we'll see you then. Bye for now.
Bye for now.